Hello everybody, Tajri the God 3 here, and welcome back to Pokemon XY&Z Anime Reviews. Today we'll be doing the review of the final episode, A Zero with No End, Till the Day We Meet Again. This is it, guys. I know a lot of y'all are probably going, hey, I thought you said you were going to do the review with everybody, not just yourself. Well, in a way, things got a little choppy with things, and I didn't want to take too long because it's literally been a whole week since the episode's been out at this point. And if you all are wondering, am I going to do the review of the 2 special episodes? I'm working on something for those, but I don't necessarily know when, but I will get on those. But we still did a group discussion with a lot of the others in the Pokemon community. We still do a group discussion, and I will send a link to that in the description. So go check that out, because it's only part 1. We'll be doing parts throughout the entire thing until Sun and Moon comes out, but there's a lot of videos that you all should be looking forward to on my channel because there's a lot of things I need to go ahead and end before we move on to Sun and Moon, and this is one of them. I want to go ahead and just do the review of this episode. So yeah, it won't be with everybody, and it won't be a really super long review, even though this is the last episode, but it's still an important review nonetheless, and a lot of you all have had time to see the episode at this point. And honestly, my opinions on this episode may be short, but they get to the point because, you know, it's the final episode and it did its job. I gotta say, this was a really good ending. This is probably one of the best endings I've seen in a series. And before people go back and say, oh, well, this ending, and this ending, yeah, those endings were sad and touching or very great moments. But I think this is the only ending for real that took it back to everything that happened within the series. It actually looks back on stuff like Karina and her Lucario, that's in there. I know there's moments that go back to Gudra and the wetlands. There was Greninja and the whole BS with the Pony-chan thing, but I made a parody on that already, so go check that out if you're bored. But yeah, it actually tackled a lot of things and went back to a lot of important characters and gave them closure stories. Like, for example, Shauna, Tirino, and Trevor are all in the woods and they're just chilling out, doing cool stuff. Alon's doing some Mega Evolution Discovery stuff, but he ditched his Mega Ring, so he's kind of starting at 0-2 in his own way. And then he's with Manon too. Sycamore is doing his thing. Shota is discovering stuff with Steven Stone. And it's showing that everybody's actually completing their goals and doing what they need to do. And then we see Serena is going off to Hoenn in order to compete in the contest over there. And this also does give that infamous moment in the episode, which obviously I won't say. I want you guys to go in and watch the moment for yourselves because it's a really big moment, obviously. And KG and I will be doing a more shipping video for it because it's a big moment. I mean, say whatever you want, but I gotta say, this is the one moment I think is really important within the series as a whole because it's the first time it's ever happened. Well, canonically in the series, it's the first time something this big has happened and they focused on it so much to the point where it actually became relevant rather than... It separates Serena from a lot of the other traveling companion females that just go, bye Ash, I'll see y'all around, or best wishes. This was a good parting, yeah? Yeah, it was a little bit cheesy and cliche to have Dedenne be the crybaby, oh my god, I don't want everybody to leave thing, because they've done that whole thing before. They did it with Piplup already. It's been done before. But I gotta say, it was lightly grazed over, and they tried to focus a lot of the things on just the partings themselves rather than the part as a whole. They tried to focus on every individual character and part them correctly rather than focus on that one giant issue of them parting, which I gotta say for this series is pretty good considering this series is all about taking each character and developing them individually in order for us to equally care about all of them rather than just the group itself, which, like I said, it's done a good job. It even paid attention to small details like Sylveon saying goodbye to Bunnelby, Pancham and Chespin sharing that whole leaf moment where he gives him a spare leaf. It's little things like that that definitely gave this episode the touch it needed to make for a really well-rounded ending. It did good being an ending. And honestly, That's the best part of it. It did a good job being an ending. And we got to see, they got to fit in a lot of things. I was actually really impressed. They fit in a battle between Clement and Pikachu that looked really well. It was really well animated. It didn't even have to be really well animated. It was because the battle sort of just fades out when it's over. But it still looked really good. And then obviously, like I said, the infamous moment with Serena and Ash was really good. Bonnie and Dedenne together sort of shared that sad moment. But it was really well done. Like, a lot of things here were really well done. I can't really be negative about this, other than I can say if it were to have one negative critique, it was the fact that they did make Dedenne do a thing that Piplup did already. The bright side to that and the compensation for that was the fact that it was done in a way where they were able to at least make it make sense within the confines of the series. Like, it didn't just come out of pure nowhere, and it also didn't take up the whole episode. But then again, when you only tackle on it for a bit, you kind of don't feel as well for it now. Because, like, Dedenne was sad for, like, a moment. But it was all because they wanted to give closure to a lot of characters here. It was definitely the show that it was going to be a send-off for not just our heroes, but for the series as a whole. Because I gotta say, Sun and Moon, from the way it's looking, is definitely looking to be a much new take on the picture. I hate to say it, it almost feels like a reboot. Now, in the past, reboots for Pokemon, or at least what we thought were reboots, may have been negatively received, but I think this is a way, like, Sun and Moon feels like it's gonna be new in the sense that not Ash is gonna lose competence, but Sun and Moon feels like it's going to be just a completely new plateau for our heroes, or Ash, considering the fact that Sun and Moon doesn't have a league or anything. This is literally Ash doing something else for the entirety of 3 years rather than just challenging gyms, which I gotta say is definitely a big plus and a minus for me. Plus, because it means that Ash's one and only chance to be champion is just sort of gone now, but it's a plus because it gives us a chance to take the anime into a new light, and we don't have to dig into the skins of Ash winning a league anymore. Like, now we can focus, I guess, on other things, and that's the way Sun and Moon, the video games, have been going too. Just from the demo alone, I feel like Sun and Moon is trying its hardest not to make things feel so much as a routine, as a way to take Pokemon and learn how to develop you as a person, more than just battle, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a formula that's been working for 20 years, but again, at some point it does feel routinely. It's you battle gyms, fight the evil organization, save the world, beat the league, the end. For this one, it's definitely like it feels like a new, it feels fresh. And for Ash to enter a world that's fresh is definitely going to be interesting. So for them to have a send-off like this was just really touching. It really helped us feel for those moments that we had. They played V-Volt at the very end. We had nice credit moments, flashback moments of everything that happened within the series, from like Pikachu beating Mega Lucario from the Mega Lucario arc, Ash and the others winning the summer camp, Serena entering the master class, Clement and Ash having their big gym battle. Just various moments like that. And Ash Greninja, then defeating Lysander, all of those moments coming together and one giant glorious wrap up to a really great story that has been Pokemon, and just finally putting closure to it all in order to open up a new world. So I gotta say, I'm impressed. I felt an ending, when you end a series, the job of that series when the final episode comes is to make you feel like you truly ended something and closed the book on it successfully. And I felt that way at the end of watching that episode. Like, the end of episode 47 definitely made me feel accomplished, and that's its job, and it did its job. So to that I say thank you, Pokemon XY&Z. It's been one hell of a ride. We've had some good times, we've had some bad times, we've had some awkward times, and I definitely, if you all haven't seen it and I made a thank you video, go check that out. It's about 30 minutes long. So with that all being said, it's been a great ride. So until Sun and Moon, I will see you guys then. There's going to be a couple more videos down the road, but until then, Tyrone the God 3 out, everybody.